song, right?
Adrian, how are you?
Doing fine, doing very well. How are you, Max?
Very well, thank you for asking.
You're welcome. So illusions.
Illusions. What do you have for your notes?
Okay, let me go see that. So I have the first song called Illusions, same name as the album. So I have that. I was working at Telepizza at the time, which is kind of like in Spanish, a Pizza Hut. And I was working at the first ever built Telepizza in Spain. Really, it was a very tiny place, no desks for people to sit on, so it was just a delivery pizza service. Although sometimes people came in to buy them in the place, but then they took it home, right? Because it was cheaper. So I wrote this song because I was having just a very hard time working there. I was like the lowest tier employee that you could be there. I was an auxiliary worker, and I was making pizzas, and sometimes I made deliveries by foot, by walking. And then I was cleaning stuff and stuff like that, right? And so I had this boss, and that was just yelling at me all the time, and I felt, I just felt awful every time I went to work, and she was, the kind of person that just is happy, kind of putting on whatever this pain she's going through, put it on to other people, and so I was just I was having like fantasies of going to work one day and just dissing her or whatever, coming up with a whatever line, like a dumbass, and in the end, I guess I made the song because I felt in the song I say something along the lines of trying to get her mask off, but then only getting like feces and blood out of it, which I guess I was trying to convince myself that it wasn't worth it to really to have any confrontation, because everything I could get is what I could expect already, which was already there. That's nothing new was gonna come of it, nothing of value. Mm-hmm. And so I just quit the job, and not like a month after, something like that.
So about a month after you started writing the title track of the album, which is Illusions.
Yes.
Give me notes on the song, the execution of the song itself.
Well, not really. I mean, I remember that I made like a demo this time on Logic, and then I sent it to you, and I think it sounds good. It sounds very loud. It sounds kind of like sounds pretty, I don't know, pretty like high quality, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, so I kind of jumping off of that, I would say that this is probably the best produced song we did of all three of the albums. I think it's the best sounding song.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that the high ends are very well done. Just
snappy.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're snappy. They have they're right where they need to be.
Yeah.
Interesting note, this is the only song that is also an album title of all three of the records.
All the three. Yeah, I think I don't remember really. We didn't struggle much with the album title, right?
Once Illusions was in there, I was like, oh, that's perfect for what we're doing here. Oh, so something to talk about before the making of this record. Do you remember what I had you do before we started recording this record?
Oh, listening to the Beatles catalog. Yeah. But
Okay.
you know, I remember it being after this album for whatever reason. I have things misplaced or displaced in
I
time.
believe it was before this one that I had you listen to every Beatles album in order from the
Or
beginning to the end, just to kind of, because I think that was the direction we wanted to go in, which was like try to do that again, try to replicate the Beatles as far as like the collaborative nature with how they recorded or wrote and recorded music, but
yeah,
also like be inspired by the pop sensibilities, and try to go poppy.
I guess so. I mean, I guess because Different Love. I think this album is not that much really influenced by the Beatles at all. I think that actually Different Love was much more influenced. I think it sounds much more like the Beatles. And Illusions, for example, the title song, and well, maybe a lot of them have, I think, a little bit of a YMO vibe because it's very synth heavy. I have on my notes that a lot of the songs have synths on them. And I remember making some of the synths, and I liked that kind of process. Some of the songs that you made, I put synths on them, and it has a nice feel. I like the
Are
style.
you talking for Illusions? Yeah.
Well, Illusions has scenes as well, but well, there was. I guess this album has more of a intentional sound, right? A lot of. I think that we wanted to have some interesting colors in as far as sound wise and stuff like that. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the intention. I thought with the track Illusions that it was probably one of the best mixes of analog drums and digital drums. I thought that they both brought each other out more of the mix. Like the initial digital drums that you laid down, then we put another layer of digital, and then we put a layer of analog drums playing. That was Paul playing, and that really I think is a nice percussion track.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like that. I think it makes it all lays on top of each other nicely.
Really nice harmonies in there. Yeah. Oh, and then probably one other thing to talk about while we're on this talking about this track is the actual album cover was done by my uncle, and it was done on an iPhone. It was a drawing of two photographs that we sent him,
That's true.
and he took those photographs and made iPhone portraits by drawing with his finger on an iPhone, which I think is pretty amazing, just because they're
No,
yeah.
no fucking way. Are you serious?
Yep, they're hyper real. I don't know, he had this ability. He still does. He always did portraits. I remember growing up, we'd go to his house and he had framed portraits of like famous people, or like he would do portraits for people in the town. He lived in a small town in northern Wisconsin, and he would do portraits for people, get commissioned. But once he got the iPhone software, he was able to figure out how to actually sit there and do it with his finger.
Jesus.
He
So
posted videos of
stuff, right, or what?
What's that?
The details, like zooming in or something like
Yeah,
that.
zooming in to do the details and like just hyper focused, hyper real imagery.
Bro.
He was posting videos at the time of him doing it, so I saw it like how like you do the video and then you speed it up so that it looks like it's drawing really fast. He would do that, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, we have to get him to do Illusions. He actually did the album cover for How to Show Love the same way. He did that album cover as well. So worked with him twice. Anything else about the song Illusions?
Well, I have on my notes that it's one of those songs that it just came to me when writing it. Like it didn't feel like an effort. I just needed to get this out. And it was more about, I guess, the the intention of it than you know the music came by with the intention, I guess. That I was you know, just feeling horrible. A lot of, you know, most of the songs that just come to me come when I'm just feeling absolutely fucked up.
Next song is The Moon and Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's another good song.
Yes.
And a nice follow-up to Illusions, you know, because Illusions is pretty like hype and pretty quick. And then, you know, The Moon and Hearts is a nice chance to chill out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why we kind of structured it 1-2. I think for this record, our track listing was not the same. I think we had a different track order, whereas Different Love, we were pretty much certain that we had the same idea what flow we wanted. For this one, it was a little less clear, and I think it's just because it was less songs. This was like you could really tailor the experience with less songs. I mean, this record really breezes by. I love the lyrics of Moon and Hearts. I think they're very evocative. You definitely came out strong with the with those first sets of lyrics there.
Do you know what it means when I'm singing at all?
Well, I was gonna say, so I want to say that you had the first set of English lyrics, and then I suggested that you sing in Spanish for the second verse.
Oh, I think so, yeah. I don't remember that it was influenced by a Randy Newman song that you sent to me. Although it has nothing to do with it, but it's very similar to the one Germany Before the War, right? The Randy Newman song. It was influenced by that one for whatever reason. I don't know. I think I was trying to learn it, and the chords came by, and so I just did something with that.
Isn't that interesting how when you're trying to learn a song, sometimes you'll either play a chord wrong, or you'll find like a passage with like 2 or 3 chords that will like get your brain like going like, well, these are really cool chords, like this is a cool progression, and then you start to abstract it and find your own song within that.
Exactly. I mean, I think that happens to me so much because I cannot like I'm very, I guess, easily distracted. So I just, you know, when I'm learning anything musically or whatever, I cannot help but to go my own way. I might learn like a little bit, and then I'm done because I found something else that is fucking awesome. I want to work on that, you know.
That's sort of an interesting thing. I think that there are sometimes there are people in this world that just when they interact with content, for me it's like if I'm like watching a film or like reading a book that has like interesting imagery or whatever, like I have to sometimes just like put it down or turn it off or whatever, just because then I need to go and like interact with what new idea I just got, because like exactly. I can't just sit and observe and like just take in content. Like I also have to put content out. Like I have to continue to create based on the ideas that, because like otherwise it just gets stuck. Like if I can't even imagine how people who can just like watch movies or just listen to music or just, you know, just do one thing, like it would drive me nuts, because like you just get so many ideas, and then it's like, what do you do with all those ideas? You're just like, yeah, that's a cool idea, and then you just let it pass. Like I don't.
Hell no. Yeah. It's like if it was fueled. I feel like you know, watching content or reading or whatever or listening, it's like fuel for me to create more. Feels that way, and it feels like it can be an overload if I don't stop for a second. It happens to me all the time. You know, if I'm reading a novel, most of the time I just have to, like, I can read like 4 pages straight, you know, and then I'm like, oh my God, man, I have to write. You know, an idea comes to me and I have to write.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing. I think that's just how maybe we process information, and how maybe just our brains are wired in that way. I don't know. I mean, it literally makes me feel like I could never run out of ideas, because I could just go to the next source. I could go to the next, you know, bit of material and get an inspiration. Or sometimes when I'm really stuck, I just go for a walk, and that's like the same thing, because like you just see something out when you're out and about. And so it's really important to continue to just jog your brain with new content. Yeah, so this is the only song on any of the records that you sang. Well, actually, no, because we sang Spanish on Yellow T-shirt, but really only like you have a whole Spanish verse, and I think that's the only time that occurs, right?
Yeah, I had that on my notes as well. It's I felt well, it was the first time I ever sung in Spanish and released a song in Spanish. Really, I think.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think I started singing in English because I didn't feel comfortable having people understanding in my surrounding what I was singing about.
Like family and friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I felt freer as well. It also felt freer, I guess, because being a second language, I felt like I wasn't so worried about it being correct, it being, you know, good writing. You know, I was just letting free and improvising, you know, with whatever came to mind, and in that way I felt freer. But yeah, and I remember that in this song I sang in Spanish, but I also in a way made it cryptic, and I didn't make it so I didn't make it so, you know, I'm from Spain, but the lyrics, the way I sang them, they sound more like from a South American kind of background, from or heritage. You know, the way it sounds, the way the words are chosen, they don't feel very Spanish to me. I don't know.
Was it intentional? Do you think there's some reason for that?
It wasn't. It wasn't intentional. Maybe it's because I've been listening, you know, more Spanish music from Latin America than from Spain. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Interesting. Some of that Argentina heritage, maybe.
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah, from my father's side.
Yeah, possible. I just remember with the Moon and Hearts, I remember like playing this for like just bumping around the hood, just playing this in Milwaukee, like because the low end was really good on it, with like because we added some real nice sort of sub kick drum action on the outro, which I think the outro is one of the best things on the whole album, is the outro of this song. I think it's just so funky and fascinating, and how it builds and how it layers on top of itself.
Yeah, I had on my notes that it was very Zelda sounding or something.
Zelda?
Yeah, like the Legend of Zelda. Yeah.
It's like if Legend of Zelda was like in the hood.
Is it very hood? The outfit?
It's pretty fun. I remember when Nelson and I were doing the horns, the influence for the horn hits was actually D'Angelo.
Well, I can see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the sort of sporadic, sort of random horn hits, that kind of stuff that would have happened on Black Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Moon and Hearts. Anything else to add about it?
I want to just watch real quick what I have.
Did you do notes on your phone this time around?
Yeah. So the video we made a video singing this song right in the bathroom of the Airbnb I got when I went to LA to visit you and Matt Ackerman. It was funny.
Yeah.
So you know we were in this Airbnb and we used the bathroom, the bathtub to make the video, and I remember it was, you know, I think at the time I hadn't yet sung live any of my songs ever. Yeah, at the time I didn't do any concerts yet, so I wasn't really, I guess I didn't sing in front of anyone before, really.
What about the show clip?
Oh, it's true, yeah. Well, I that is true, yeah. I forgot. Well, I didn't count that, but because I never continued those kind of songs. But I made I think 3 shows in high school, where I composed the songs, but it was mostly kind of like a show with songs around them, but really it was just a show with very silly, all very silly. But yeah, I guess that's the first time. But I wasn't worrying, I guess, about sounding good, because it was more of a fun kind of thing. Yeah, it's true.
The Moon and Hearts. Well, I think we're gonna get Mexican food tonight.
You like Mexican food?
I really do. There's a really good place nearby that just has the best fajitas. Okay, Black Moon.
We should talk about how you've always thought that I was Mexican.
I always thought, I was like, well, what? So Black Mood, first thing I should say, because I feel mostly responsible for this song. It's the worst song. It sounds so bad, and it sounds thin. I have in my notes that it sounds very thin.
It makes it sound good, yeah.
The harsh vocal sound, and I also wrote, what were we thinking? Weird production throughout. I think the melody was promising.
Yeah.
The second verse makes way more sense, I think, just because it's built up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's more like a fantastic. I like the horns in that last part.
Yeah, honestly, like the second verse is like the best thing, and it's way better than the first verse. Yeah, I love in the beginning of the second verse, you can hear me scream. When Paul was recording the drums on the first verse, I was like, I told him kind of play a little lighter, which he did a really good job of, like, dynamically. But then finally he just sort of like laid into it, and you hear me scream because I'm just so excited. You can hear me go like, yeah, like right at the beginning of the second verse, and that's when I really feel like the song does like it's a shift in momentum. It's like such a I don't know, like the first verse is like you're so like tired and lethargic, and then that second verse kicks in and it finally sounds like an actual song, which I kind of like that. I like the shakiness of the first verse, honestly, with the second verse. Otherwise, the first verse is just trash. But the second verse propels it and like makes that shakiness an aesthetic feature rather than being like a giant issue that we would have needed to fix that we didn't.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? How sometimes the thing that follows can fix the thing.
Well, I think there's a lot of that in classical symphonies. I think there's a lot of that in Mahler, for example. I like that. I think we haven't done such long works, but I think there's a lot of we play with the expectation. I think more than maybe it's usual, I guess.
Well, I think it's because we've listened to a lot of like experimental and avant-garde music and sources, and the people that we're inspired by were inspired by those things. So like, you're right, playing with expectations is something that I think we've always been able to do. And if the music were to find an audience, like a large audience, I still think the large audience would be thrown off by, I think, that aspect of the music making.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of songs where we are challenging people to be patient, and I think that's something that's been lost, and I think sometimes it is worth it, and I think you can see that listen to symphonies or just classical pieces that are longer, where I might think, oh my God, this part is awful. I don't like this part, but you can really, there's a power in making sense of things later on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're writing, when you're reading a book as well. You might at first, you need some time to really digest things, to digest ideas. It's not all on the plate, as one says, right? Do you say that in English?
Yeah, totally. It's not all there on the plate for you. You got to kind of take some time, digest. Yeah, I really do think that's an interesting, actually something I now that we're talking about it, I would love to explore a little bit more. with songwriting is like having the real asymmetry of having like certain verses be like pretty warped and screwed up. And honestly, I think that idea maybe was inspired a little bit by the Wilco album Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Yeah.
Because there's a documentary called I'm Trying to Break Your Heart, which is fantastic, about them making that record. And I know that you hear a lot of Jeff Tweedy talking about how when they were making it, they wanted sections that were like shaky like that and like fucked up sounding in the midst of these really beautiful pop and rock songs. Just kind of give it that variance. And that's why that record sounded ahead of its time for a lot of people. And that's definitely something that, you know, we were trying to, I think, grab some of that.
I think so. I mean, you know, it's an influence for both of us, I think. So it sure became. But well, the one thing that I also wanted to add to that is that, you know, it's true that maybe, you know, it can add a shaky passage can be made sense afterward. But sometimes it's just a bad section. Sometimes it's just bad, you know. Not everything can be made sense of. I guess that's the only thing that I wanted to add, is so that it's not, you know. And I think in this case, it's a half and half, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's happening. Oh, you think we're trying to like explain away a bad section by saying, "Oh no, it was done like this intentionally"?
I think it can. Well, I think that not every time it can be that way, you know. For sure.
Fair enough. I really love the electric guitar solo at the end, although I think it should have been a little bit louder. I also put down in my notes that the backing vocals are very interesting, and also I put down Grizzly Bear.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I like that about the song. Sounds very, very. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Something about it being very dark and like a dark fantasy kind of world. I like that. Yeah.
Anything else to add for Black Mood?
I like the triplet feel. There was a triplet feel, I think, with the drums. I think.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know.
Strange song, you know. Also, the second verse. One other thing is I get David Bowie vibes on the second verse.
True, as well as true. Yeah. You can see that.
But if anyone knows me, knows that I would love to get some David Bowie vibes on a record. Okay, Black Mood. Cut fingers like nails.
Yeah. Do you have any notes on that?
I have tons, yeah. I mean, great melody I put off right off the top of the head. Off the top of one's head. I have no idea what this song is about. The timing is so fucked up.
Very, yeah.
The vocals are bad.
Yeah.
But there's a good spirit in the vocals, which I think is really interesting. The vocals are very harsh, and I wrote, ouch, exclamation point. I thought Lindsay's vocals were really good. So something to talk about with this is that when Lindsay sent me the vocals, they were all not lined up. They were like, it was like chaos. It was just clips. And I don't think there was any prayer of getting them back in like, you know, so that they were lined up. So I had to go in and hand piece them together on the track. And so they're really screwed up with the time.
Oh, I see. That's why.
So I kind of used her vocals as a way of like stretching the time even more, because I knew that the time was fucked up on this song. I don't know how that happened. Probably just laziness. But
yeah.
Their vocals are either dragging or rushing because of they're just not lined up, and also because I was lining them up by hand. Yeah,
maybe even the frequency, no, the hertz, or the beats, right, of the recording were different in each project or something.
Something got fucked up. It's a crazy sounding song. It sounds like a giant nightmare, a giant mess. But there's some really nice horns at the end. And the vocals are just too fucking loud.
Yeah. Well, what I have wrote down is like a weird song, but cool melody on its own. You know. Also, I have We Got the Sitar on this one, right? From Andrew. Andrew.
Is there sitar on this song?
I think there. I think I heard a sitar.
No, I don't think we have sitar until Trace.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think we did, man. This is the only song that we have sitar on, man. On this album, it's true.
I don't think so.
Well, when we edit this, we're gonna find out, and we're gonna put the clip of the sitar. We're gonna put a picture of a sitar here. So I have You're Crying All Over My Eyes. It's acid overanalyzed. That's a song line. And I
Great
thought that was good, right?
Great line. Yeah.
Like that. And I also remember how we played around a lot with the lyrics of our songs. We were always making puns. We were always making jokes of each of the lyrics, and I don't know. I guess we didn't. Well, there was a part, I think, of me, of maybe of us, I don't know, that found, we took this very seriously. We thought, I mean, we wanted the songs, we wanted the albums to be, the best they could be. But at the same time, we couldn't help but to, find them funny, or find them, some part of it just ridiculous sometimes. How maybe we found our own expectations ridiculous or something. But it was there was a lot of playing around with that, or joking around.
I think that's well said. Yeah, I agree. Cut fingers like nails.
No. I have. No. Oh,
what,
shit.
You have more notes?
Yeah. The lyrics don't rhyme at all. Most of the time they don't rhyme. Maybe sometimes they rhyme very in a very weird way, but most of the time they don't rhyme. And I think there's some songs that we do that don't rhyme at all. Either they rhyme very.
The part that I wrote of that song doesn't rhyme.
The part of the song you wrote doesn't rhyme. I don't know about that.
You don't.
I think it doesn't either, because it's very.
Leave it way behind. It seems you really needed blood on my hands, but I'm just fine. I can't tell if the blood is yours or mine. No, I think my part that I wrote rhymes.
Oh yeah, your part rhymes. Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I did a lot of lyrics where they don't rhyme at all. A lot of Beach Boys and Brian Wilson, sometimes they don't rhyme, and they do these weird accents on the words, as the same I do it, just to fit in the melody, just to fit words in a melody.
Well, yeah, because it's interesting you bring that up, because I saw an interview with Brian Wilson from like way back in like the '60s. A couple days ago, and it was just like a pretty benign interview, and somebody was like, Brian, what do you write comes first, the lyrics or the melody or the music? He's like, music always first, music first.
Yeah.
And I think that's really close to us and our thing, because like we just fuck around with chords and progressions and melodies until we have the music, and then we have to fit lyrics to it. I know that that's not all writers. Some writers start with words, which I think is insane. I don't know how you could start with lyrics and then write a melody over lyrics. That seems crazy to me.
Fun and insane. Like, why do you need to make the music then? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna make music, you should make the music first. What the fuck? We're the experts here talking about it.
Come on, this is simple.
It is what it is. It's what it is. That
cut fingers like nails. Okay, Holy Life. So this song is about buttholes.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you do a lot of about assholes, right? You sing. I think in the last album, Different Love album, you sang about an asshole like at least once or twice, right?
Is there a lyric in Different Love?
Yeah, late in the day, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit of something Freudian in there. I really love the production on this one. Even though I think you hate it.
Serious?
I think you hate it, right?
It's the worst.
I definitely. What? No, go. You go. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. Try to explain to me how that shit is good.
I definitely was trying to do something like with it. Like I was trying to like make a statement, you know. And I think I sound kind of like an anal sex fiend like on this song, which I really like. And I just think it's a good pop song. It has a nice spirited energy.
It sounds like anal sex, I think.
It does. It definitely is like kind of like intense. You know what I mean? It's definitely intense.
Right.
But I like it. I like the bass line doubling, the vocal.
Bass line is good. I think that when you say that you were trying to make a statement, I think that's what gives it away. You know, when you're trying to do a mix, I think to do a statement is not necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean?
It doesn't sound bad to my current ears.
Well, I was actually, you know, excited about listening this one because how much I hated it at the time. I hated the mix very much, and then I still kind of do, yeah. But you know,
what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
Well, so here's what happened. So what happened was that you had a basic idea that was cool. You didn't like it actually yourself, but I thought it was cool, and I convinced you to put it on the album. And you were like, okay, come up with some chords for this bass line.
Yeah.
And then I did, and then I mean I don't know what happened, but I guess then what happened was that you put them on the mix, right? And you put them very low, which was okay. But then the horns came in with my chords very low, and the horns do a different harmony on top of mine. Like and it's absolutely a mess. It's an absolute mess. Like
it's clashing. You think it is too much harmonic action there?
But it's not only action. It's just that there's like polychords and shit that I don't think that makes sense in that song at all. Huh?
What kind of chords?
Like polychords, where you have two chords that have nothing to do with each other together, you know, and stuff like polytonality, you know, or some shit. But it's all very low and quiet at the same time. So it's not like, oh, okay, this is like harsh intentionally. It's just a bit of weird shit bubbling on the bass of the song. Then you have the bass and the vocals very loud, but then the harmonic bed is very confusing, I think.
I kind of like that though. I like that. I mean, when do you get a chance to do that in a song? To take two like very different harmonic ideas, make that harmonic bed really unusual, and then have that thing like in your face. It's just like that's a very unusual sonic image that I think it's not often played with because people are afraid to do things like that.
Well, I think that there's no excuse. I think that things like that can be cool.
That your chords got more chords added on top of them.
Huh? You think
Nelson was laying down some cool shit on that song.
I think so at the same time, but I feel like it's absolutely weird.
It is weird.
Not in a good way, I think.
Oh, not in a good way. Well, either way, holy life.
Yellow T-shirt.
Really good song.
I like it, man. Yeah.
One of the best on the album.
Out of tempo a bit, I think, but very cool. In the beginning, there's a lot of kind of weird, badly placed.
What's wrong?
The tempo in the beginning.
It's just we begin on the like weird note, like we in a weird beat, like it begins weird.
It's not only that; it's kind of misplaced. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird way to start what ends up being a very good song.
But it's a good song.
The Unison vocals, I think, are really actually work here, and they make sense for this song.
Maybe the only one where it makes
Maybe
sense.
the only one where it needed it.
We really needed that, but it was good. Yeah, I like it.
It's much more of a band sounding song, which I like.
Yeah, man. Played it with my band. Loved it. Love playing that song with the riff. I like riff-based songs. I like that.
What was that?
Riff-based songs. I like them.
Riff-based songs. Give the lead guitarist something to do other than just stand there and solo. Yeah, nice, great final chorus. Production is pretty decent. Very emotional. I remember the yellow T-shirt line was like one of the first things that I heard, because like I heard you when you came up with the first like part of the melody, you were ad-libbing like just like lines, like words, and I think you said yellow T-shirt at some point.
I don't think I said it. Well, maybe I did. Weird. Maybe I did have a yellow T-shirt on. I remember I sent you a video memo of the song where I was wearing a yellow T-shirt. So I don't know if it was because of the video that you wanted it to be called that, or maybe I improvised it just.
I think you said the line. I think you just said yellow T-shirt, and then I took that and ran with it and built this whole thing, the T-shirt, the whole narrative about what is the T-shirt and why does one wear a yellow T-shirt? Because the whole thing was like the line was like, feel like a star in the sky, but I'm not feeling warm. Like I'm not feeling happy or joyful. I'm feeling like I'm gonna die. Because like essentially stars, aren't stars like evidence that like something is exploded? Some stars that we see, like we can see stars in the sky that are dead, like they have exploded. Like we can see.
Yeah.
I don't know the term. I did fall asleep in astronomy. I took astronomy in high school, and I did fall asleep.
You took astronomy high school?
They would do in astronomy in high school, because we had a little like planetarium in our high school. They would turn the lights off, and so like halfway, like after I had astronomy after lunch. So okay, you eat lunch, and then you go to this class. They turn the lights off. Our teacher had this really soft voice, and then she turned the lights off, and she'd be like, "This is Jupiter. This is Uranus," and I'd just be asleep, because it was so wonderful. And I did get a D- in that class. So
so you were sleeping and dreaming about the universe, or what?
Basically, so I was like learning, but I wasn't like learning.
Yeah, learning through sleep.
What are your thoughts on yellow T-shirt? Because I kind of just monopolized the whole.
It's good. That's fine. The idea of the song came from an instrumental. I'm reading, guys. I have nothing else. Oh no, I do. It has a cello or a violin. What is it? It has a string, something, right?
I believe both.
Both?
Yeah, I don't know if it was this album or Different Love that I had Emma play cello on. I think I had her play cello on this one, and I played cello on Different Love. I can't remember. Maybe it was. Did I play? No, she played some cello on one of these records. We'd have to look in the credits, and then I had Michael Sodnick play
violin,
auto violin on this one.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, I like that. It has a country bluegrass vibe.
It's a weird mix, but I think it works.
I like that.
Like bling, bling, ba-kika-pong, ba-ka-pong, bing.
It's true with the pizzicato. Yeah, beautiful.
Nice riffs, nice like vibe. And you know what? Whenever I hear the final chorus, I think this is something unique to this song in particular. I think about the triumph that was the music video and the end of the music video, and how it's like we finally got to, like, because if we're gonna talk, I know we're probably gonna do a separate talk maybe eventually about all the music videos, but if we were gonna talk about that music video,
stop talking right now. This is not the moment. No, it's the
yellow T-shirt.
No, come on.
On film there.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh, this will be fun to talk about this one. See the light, right?
Beautiful.
I know it's not right, but I've been so hard to kiss at night. Oh.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Max. Thank you. Thank you for gifting us this song.
Okay, so at the beginning of this song, what you hear is you hear Emma and her sister Rose, who I had sing backing vocals on a couple songs on this record. You hear them warming up and doing like, and they're like warming up their vocals.
Yeah, all that. You were saying all that.
And all that. I want all that.
Give me all that.
And so that was really beautiful, and I kept that in there because I wanted a loose feeling automatically. You're like, oh my god, like they're just, because you know what, honestly, where you get that type of thing is Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On, or not Let's Get It On, What's Going On. At the beginning of What's Going On, Marvin Gaye's beautiful record. There's just people like talking. Like I think he recorded, I don't know where he recorded, but he got like just like a group of people talking, maybe in the studio, maybe it was a field recording. But I really like that vibe where like people are like chilling and chatting, and then all of a sudden the song begins underneath.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's good. It's kind of like it's like well, we've done that a lot, right? I'm out, man. My brain is out. It's kind of like
the song is very rhythmic. It's a happy and hopeful song. I like the to fall in love, not to fall in love concept.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I think this, the weird thing that I think about this one, I think it's a sibling song to Pressure.
See?
I cut it, and then I'm gonna just.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's good, man. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm such a mess right now. This is ridiculous. Okay, so we're still talking about See the Light. Yeah, so I think this song is.
Are you okay?
Like, it's Pressure's sibling song. Like if Pressure was like its brother or little sister or little brother.
What song?
See the Light? Pressure?
It was a sibling brother song? What?
I've always thought of it like that.
Why?
It has a sort of like a sense like the way it, the hopefulness, the tone, the message, the vibe of it.
But like it's like Jesus Christ. No, but what? So, and you think that's like a sibling? So the song is a sibling to you? Is that what you're saying? It's like a made-up sibling that you hung out with?
I always thought of it like Pressure was like the cousin or the brother or the sister of See the Light.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I agree.
Good. Okay. I like the part where we go, "Come on" the bridge. I think that's so funny. It's like literally so funny.
It's very funny. I like that. Yeah, I like making that meditation bridge. I like that. It was kind of messy, but kind of fun. And yeah, coming back with the come on, yeah.
It's so basic. I don't know why we've never done anything that basic, but it actually works in a weird way.
It's actually beautiful.
Lindsay's improvisation on that bridge was really nice.
Yeah.
She basically dictated the na 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 beauty, and then we're like going over like she initiated that whole vibe.
True, yeah, beautiful melody. She laid that.
It's sort of a 1-chord vamp there, right? It's just 1 chord at that part.
It's 1 chord. It's the first chord you play, I think, on the song.
That's kind of cool though. I like the vamp. Like that's something I think we do more of on Trace. We'll get to that later. Final chorus is dope. It's a celebration. It's a
celebratory. It's very happy. It's a very uplifting song. Way louder than the other songs as well. And I like it.
I like the chorus is sort of a celebration of kind of realizing that change is needed to move on from pain.
Well, I guess I never, what I have written down is that I never paid attention to the lyrics on this one until maybe, I think there was one day where I was walking around and listening to the song. I think it just came on my phone just randomly, and I found meaning in it where I didn't before, and I don't remember what meaning I found, but
I was excited. You got me excited there.
Yeah. No, but I did. I guess I was feeling kind of like I was putting myself down or not letting myself enjoy myself, and kind of like being very feeling very down, feeling very dark inside, like and that kind of like giving myself the identity of being dark, just not being a very gloomy, doomy kind of guy, you know. And I think this song is good because it works against that kind of way of being that's awful. It's an awful thing, and I think a lot of pop right now, like Billie Eilish, really works in that direction. I hate that. I hate how, you know, kind of like depression is glorified, or being sad, just being like a gloomy person that brings everything down. And I think if
sorry, Bill.
Huh?
Go on.
What?
Go on.
No, but wait. No, but what I mean is that, you know, being gloomy is not only a disfavor to yourself, it's being a disfavor to other people. And I think that a lot of people just love being that way. And but it is hard though nowadays not to be absolutely. Well, I think the thing is that a lot of people get, you know, rage and turn it into being gloomy, and I think that's the worst part of it. You know, because you can be sad for something, but if you're raging and you turn that rage into just sadness, I think that's disservice to yourself. I think you should at least be raging, not you know.
What if Billie Eilish made a record where it was all happy, like really positive and happy songs?
I hate it anyway. Nah, I don't know.
You think? No, my question is, do you think it would sell?
Oh, I don't know. I think anything she could do now could sell. So.
Wouldn't that be crazy if a bunch of artists just said, you know what, things are really bad. You know, it's an economic recession, depression. The whole inflation is terrible. The economy's fucked. Everybody's under a lot of financial burden and stress from other outside forces, political, socioeconomic, whatever. Well, let's just all the whole artists of the zeitgeist, whatever, take the initiative to just write a bunch of really positive, happy songs and make a bunch of really positive, happy content.
I think that could be awful. I think that could be the worst. I think that could be kind of like, you know, when Michael Jackson and some other people came together and recorded this kind of like Earth song or whatever. Well, there's a lot of those, right? Like
that We Are the World. You're talking We Are the World.
Yeah, that kind of crap.
That was for charity. That was a different thing.
Well, I think it's still crap. The song is awful, and you know, it makes it so that I think that's the problem, is that not well. What I mean with this is that, you know, you can only be able to make a happy song if you're able to be happy yourself, and you can only to have some kind of energy inside of you that kind of derives that. But if you're just making something, if you're making a song to make other people happy, I think there's something wrong with that, because you're no one to tell anyone what they should feel.
So it's like dishonest almost.
I think it's dishonest, because it's like, well, maybe not everyone should be happy. Maybe if someone is fucked up, they should be fucked up. Maybe not everyone deserves to be happy either. You know, not everyone deserves the same thing. I mean, you know, it's kind of like dumb to assume that you know, you want to make everyone happy. Why do you want to make everyone be happy? I don't understand.
I struggle with writing happy songs. It was like sad songs always came easier. Anytime you play a minor chord on a guitar, you're like, I'm just gonna write a sad song with this minor chord that I just played. Like, I always found it harder to write happy songs, like more positive, uplifting songs. It just is harder. I don't know why.
Interesting. I think I find it the other way around myself. That's crazy.
I felt this for years. Since I started writing music, I've always felt like I could write a million sad songs, but writing a happy song took a lot of effort.
That really interesting. I think you're good at writing happy songs. I like that.
Thank you.
I think I sometimes enjoy more your happy songs than your sad songs, actually. So
really,
although I really like some, you know, I guess some of your sad songs are good. Really, like, but I think you bring a lot of the happy ones are good. But yeah, that's funny. I feel kind of the opposite way.
I didn't know that.
That's very interesting. Even for example, with Illusions, the title song, I was feeling horrible. I was feeling absolutely fucked up, and the song came out. It's not a sad song, you know. It's kind of bouncy. It's kind of fun.
It's right? Definitely a fun song, but I think it's sad if you think about it.
Well, if you think about it, but what I mean is, you know, the general musical vibe.
Yeah.
Like I find it easier to make fun, or not fun, but very more energetic songs myself. But yeah, whatever.
Well, I think who cares in that aspect, because if you started out making music as DJ Sucho, correct?
That is true, man. That's true.
Those songs were fun, playful experiments, and they were oftentimes influenced by what type of music?
House music, yeah.
Which is very upbeat, up-tempo.
Pop house, like LMFAO.
You had that for a long time, like that sensibility of making energetic music. And that's why a lot of your music, no matter how sad or dark or whatever, has always kind of had an up-tempo, energetic feel, which I think what makes your music really interesting. Something that makes it very interesting, not the only thing.
Thank you.
See the light.
Is that it? No, we made a video for this song, dude.
I'm not talking about videos. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
We're not making this interview for the now. We're making this for the future. This is for people that aren't. In her car. I'll tell the story because I came up with the idea.
Please.
So at the time, so I believe the story of this song goes like this. I went with my brother and his girlfriend and her friends to a Mexican restaurant, and one of her friends was a nurse, and I had a crush on her, and she gave me a ride home from the restaurant because she was going in that direction because she lived not far from where I live. And she was like a little bit older than me, and I think she was in a relationship, and so it was like never gonna happen kind of vibe. But I remember right when I got out of the car, I got home and I had an acoustic guitar, and I just started to plunk out the words in the chorus or the melody, whatever, in her car. And that's where it was inspired by that trip, and then like in my brain what was happening that could have happened on that trip lyrically. And so it's very much inspired by just a stupid happening. This is a random story, just like a Tuesday night going to a Mexican restaurant. And do you have anything to add? Oh, I will, before you even say anything, I will say that I felt like you and Nelson both hated this song.
I didn't hate it, man. That's well, I have on here that you hated the song yourself. It's one of the songs that you hated when you made it.
Oh, I don't hate this song.
But you didn't hate that, right?
No. I like this song.
I remember.
I like this song. I used it for in a film I made called Hypnic Jerk, which is a short film I made when I was living in North Hollywood. I used it in the film as a essential part of the film.
It's true. I like that film.
It's an amazing film. It's one of the best films ever made. So I don't know. Maybe it was all in my head that you and Nelson didn't like it. I know Nelson didn't like it. He didn't like it. He didn't want to record on it.
I think it's a great song. It's beautiful. It's kind of like I don't know. It has a very dream pop kind of vibe. It's kind of like
chill. Just chill song. Very simple chords. I like the part where we yell "car" to avoid the really overly sexual.
That one was just ridiculous when I heard it.
It's good. It's just weird. I like non sequiturs. I like weird. Like why are they doing this? There's a reason why we did it. But if you were just listening to it, you'd be like, why did they do that?
That's what I want with my music is people saying, what the fuck is going on?
Seriously, that's actually kind of a chill vibe. Because then what you're doing is I think Zappa used to talk about like the kind of art that the mothers used to make, the kind of music that they used to make too, like on stage and in the records, was like they were trying to like make you so annoyed or so freaked out that you started to question your reality, and therefore you were actually like lifted from just normal basic human existence into a like what is an elevated state of existence, which is questioning things around you and the people around you and like the systems that are in place that are like, putting you under stress or whatever.
Well, it takes a lot to do that nowadays. I think
it's so hard to freak people out, dude. It's so fucking hard. And like you have to really resort to some dark shit. The only other option I can see is to like really abstract and fuck up and like play with like form that people and expectation, which we talked about in an earlier segment of this.
Yes. True. Let me see what I have on. Pretty silly lyrics. I liked playing the scenes on this one.
Nice.
Thank you. And I love the song. I think it's good.
It's just a classic, just kind of chill song. It is a nice respite in the record. It's classic. I like that it comes after See the Light, because then it's like See the Light's so like hype, it's so amped, and then you just go chill in her car. So chill.
We did a lot. Yeah, I think this album is it has a good structure. You know, you bounce around feelings. You bounce around, and it's nice. It's kind of entertaining. It keeps the novelty of the album going. Or
I would say that it flows really well. I think it might be the best flowing record of the three.
it flows great. Yeah, I think Different Love was just so
long
that it couldn't flow.
It doesn't. Yeah, you can't make 20 songs flow into one another very easily. But this one, because it was shorter, I think is a lot easier to navigate and to listen to in one setting, in one sitting, one setting, and one sitting. All right, in our car. Do you have anything else?
No. Feel like I'm being mean all the time.
For this next one, Good Night, Emmy. No comment.
Well, I gotta read my notes then. So what I have is I fucked up the song with my MIDI contributions. Also, send the WAV files wrongly, or so he. Oh yeah. So I did what Lindsay did, where I didn't send the stems from the start of the song. I think I sent them like half a bar or just a pulse after the start of the song. And you heard the first time you heard my stems, you heard them all misplaced in the song. And you love that. You love that.
Yeah, I do to this day.
Huh?
To this day, when I listen back, I really love that they were out of place, and they sound really weird and ghostly and interesting. Especially your vocal stems, how they're like in weird spots.
It's true, yeah. At first, it was right on top of your singing, right? So it was just a normal harmony. It was just simple. But well, the thing is, that's okay. I like the misplacement rhythmically, but there's a moment at minute 1:28 seconds where there's a weird bass line of a MIDI piano that I played that like starts and stops very abruptly and very loudly in like the start of the next section of the song. That happens twice. The second, you cannot really hear it because the horns are playing on top of it. But the first time, it's just very awful.
I love that aspect, and actually I would say that if it wasn't for that, I would hate this song.
No way, dude.
Yeah, I really think that the abstraction of putting your parts, basically all of your parts in incorrectly, made the song 10 times more interesting, and actually it's kind of a good song.
I like that. Again, I like that, but it's true, man. That note there, man, just lowering the volume on that last note, because it's just it's painful, because it's I think it's a great song. I think it's a very
I like the jarring flat, like I like all that. I think it's jarring and interesting. I think it's very interesting.
But it's just you're making like a it's I mean it's not like I minded that much. I guess playing around, but it's not that bad. But it's
I didn't want to make a sad love song. I didn't want to make just like I wanted to make
the alternative to that is not just making like one note to be jarring on the whole song suddenly. You know what I mean? Like because it flows very nicely all the song, I think, except for that tiny moment. I don't know.
One thing I want to add is that I was trying to do sort of a synthesized version of my interpretation of a Bon Iver vocal or what I thought he was doing with some of his vocals on various records, which was like EQing different lines so that they like fit in a really strange wave wavelength.
You mean like doing harmonies and each one having a different place in the frequency spectrum or something?
Essentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to do a version of that, and it came out really weird. The vocals sound really weird on this song.
Yeah, well, kind of interesting. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that too much. Let me see what else. So, you know, I'm sad that I fucked the song up, man. That note.
I think it's cool. I like that part.
But I think it's a pretty song. It's a pretty song. And yeah, and
the outro is cool.
The outro's cool, yeah. Yeah, it's cool. There's a friend of my father's that he worked with. That he loves the song. It's his favorite, and he's a very huge fan. He has been to all my concerts, and that's one of his favorite songs of our collaboration.
Was this one?
Yeah. So there's one person that loves the song.
That's good. I am glad that person loves it. All right. Anything else to say about it?
So Max turned my MIDI way down. So you turn it way down on the song. So that's also what makes it very jarring, right? Because I mean, so I was like, why did you even keep it if it's that low sounding? If it's just, you know what I mean? I'm just.
I wanted you to feel like you did something.
Rude. I'm feeling mean, dude. I'm sorry. I don't want it to be that way between us.
All right.
No, please continue.
An old fella
having a tantrum. Oh. So,
Tantrums Forever.
What notes do you have for that one?
Beautiful song. Loved. I can't read my handwriting. Loved playing the chords that you wrote. Beautiful chords. Many chords in all caps.
Many.
Of the guitar and the sax verse where we're playing the melody. Even though the guitar sounds like complete ass. Way too much treble. The final verse is good. Very mysterious song to close a very mysterious album.
Wow. Cool move. But yeah, so I was giving you shit for calling one of the songs like a sister or a sibling to another song of the last album of Different Love. And now I gotta say this song, I think it's the sibling of
Sheep Costume.
No, of Unintelligible Things.
Oh. Just because of the way the chords are, or what?
Because of the way the song is structured and because of the way the process was made of the song, where I had a lot of chords for one section, and I instead of continuing and trying to get another section of the song, we just copy and pasted the chords, and well, we didn't copy and paste, but you
just
play them.
Playing the same section over and over again.
Yeah, we did that. Right?
There's really only one set of chords, but there are a lot of one set of chords.
Exactly. With the same way with unintentional. Unintelligible things.
I was gonna say something when I saw your shirt. It made me think of I know it's reading like a darker red, but than it probably is. But when I worked at the grocery store behind my house in Milwaukee, we wore red shirts just like that.
That's beautiful.
So it looks like you just got off a shift working the check lane or bagging. You were probably bagging. Knowing you probably wouldn't be checking groceries. You'd be bagging.
What? Begging for money.
No, not begging, bagging.
Bagging. Okay, so instead of what?
Frodo Baggins.
So doing that instead of what?
Cash register.
Oh, so what is? Oh, so it's bagging. What is bagging? Like buying?
Put it in the bag.
So there's one person that does that only with that task.
The first job I ever had was I was a bagger. I bagged groceries. I put bags from the conveyor belt, and I put the groceries into bags and then handed it to and then they would send me out to the parking lot to pick up garbage and to move the carts and get the carts and bring them inside.
Dude, I mean, that's crazy. That's kind of, I love that about how in the US the companies, even very shitty ones, you know, they want to seem very high class. They want to make you feel like you're this fucking awesome guy, high class person, having a slave bag all your groceries for you. Fucking crazy.
Crazy. But you know, when you're a kid, I was 13, 14, and you get paid $7 an hour. It was like that.
13, 14?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You get $7 an hour. You're like, man, after a couple of days, I might have $100.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Incredible time we're living. So, Tantrum. Okay, let me read the notes. So I think that it was an awful take of my vocals. I didn't know how to sing, and was always suffering from some kind of throat sickness because I wasn't dressing up properly for the weather, like a dumbass. That's what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
The song is about an old man in a retirement home that sees his nurse as his mom and throws tantrums at her. I kind of implying that there's things one carries forever, meaning that maturing is the process of reconciling the external world with ourselves. It is to find a place for our internal willpower in the world where it can expand and flourish. It is not to kill instincts, it is to try and find a way to make them fit in the world. I want to just read what I have. Having a creative impulse takes a willpower stronger than usual. It takes the strength necessary to properly channel oneself into the world. One is forced to either give up or try and shape the world to fit one's creation. I believe that might be the highest action one can aspire to achieve. I don't know if that's correct to write that way, but I think we might be trying to reshape the world. Well, what I think is that I guess when you're forced, when you have a creative impulse, you're forced to reshape the world to your own liking, to make existence bearable. Yes.
Tantrums Forever.
That's it. That's the last song.
And that was Illusions. So on the whole, I think Illusions is a nice record. It flows very nicely. It's short, which I really like. I thought it was a good second album. You know, it was a good, because I like the idea of having the first record be just crazy wasteland of like ideas, and then the second record is very focused, and then third record I feel like is very much a well, I mean, we'll see when we listen back, but essentially I think it's very much like a combination of the two.
It's true, yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing about you know, the having to follow an album, right? So I don't know how we felt. Do you remember anything? Pressure?
A lot of pressure, because we were like, oh shit, like, you know, there's a lot of people that are counting on us to make the follow-up even better. So we really wanted to deliver a beautiful follow-up record. So we felt a lot of pressure. I mean, we had pressure from all sides.
All the fans, you know,
all the fans
on Instagram, doing the reels with our songs on and putting makeup on while listening to, you know, like a song like Failing Column, you know. I have memories of, you know, my fans messaging me, you know.
A lot of angry messages, yeah.
Angry because we changed their lives. It's fucking weird.
Angry. So, anything else you want to say about Illusions on the whole?
Well, I think that the fans loved it, and I think that's all that counts. Because who cares if we liked it, right? Because I think you know, it's all for the fans. Jesus.
All right. Illusions.